What's up, y'all? Welcome to the After Dark channel, bro. So, like I said before, this is the channel that's gonna be the one that I'm on. Usually during nighttime when I'm just bored and I just be thinking of random shit. So there ain't no script, there ain't no nothing. You might just see me just randomly walking around the room and shit. Like I ain't gonna lie. Like for real, when I just be like bored and just be thinking of shit, that's literally what this channel is gonna be. It's just gonna be me just doing random shit. Uh, and me talking about my random thoughts too, cause I'll be thinking about a lot of just random ass shit all the time during the day. Y'all excuse the sound. That's my freaking heater. So I'm probably gonna always have that shit on too, cause it be cold as a motherfucker. Y'all see a nigga got the robe on in this bitch. You feel me? Gotta get snug, bro. Hey, bro. I still gotta take a bath too. I'm just wearing this just for right now, but I need to take me a little bath. You know, because I like to take a bath. Like when I come in, when I go to work, I like to take a bath, and then I like to take a bath when I get off of work, when I come home. Because I usually like walk home from work and I walk to work. But sometimes I get a ride home and shit, you feel me? Um, but here's what's really been on my mind, bro. I don't know why, but I've been thinking about, like, okay, so look, so these are the Switch games that I have, right? So I'm a big Pokemon ass nigga. So, so I got freaking Shield, you feel me? I got Sword, you feel me? I got the Mystery Dungeon for Switch game, DX Rescue Team. I got Let's Go Eevee, right? I got Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, that's my newest one. I got Violet, which is one of my newer ones, and then I got Let's Go Pikachu, right? And here's what's mad, bro. I got story times, bro. Okay. Here's what makes me mad. So I have, and it's in here. Hold on, I'm gonna show it to y'all real quick. So hold on. It's always in my sword box, bro. Alright. So y'all already know what Pokemon game this is. Look. Freaking Shining Pearl, right? So let me tell you a story about this shit. So I had Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl before I moved, right? I paid $100, bought both of them bitches, right? Was hyped as hell to play them, and I got them things for my Switch Lite, right? That's before I actually got my Switch, cause now I got, you feel me? You heard me. I finally got one of these damn things right here. I got like an actual Switch finally. They don't got the little Joy Cons on it and stuff, but but yeah, I finally got like an actual Switch. But before I bought that actual Switch, because that shit is like $400, I had my little Switch Lite, and I still play it a lot of the time. It still got some like save datas on it and shit. But a lot of the time I play that, and I had finished both Sword and Shield, and I was like, the Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl were like, this is when they first came out. And I was like, okay, I want both of them. So I bought both of them. They were on sale. They were both only $50 instead of $60. Because you guys know if you get Switch games, they're always $60, bro. But those two were $50. So I was like hyped. I was like, okay, so I'm only paying $100 instead of $120. You feel me? So I ended up buying both of them. I had them, bro. I had them. I remember having them. And I swear to you, bro, I had them with my other games, bro. The other games that I had when it came down to Sword, Shield, the Mystery Dungeon game. I swear I did. I don't know what happened between my grandma's house and the airport and coming out here. I'm assuming I left them at the airport somewhere and just left them sitting somewhere. Because I do remember taking my games out of the bag and like looking at them, because I was using like a small little bag, and they barely fit in the bag. Because I had like DVDs and like other stuff in the bag, and it was just like a really small bag. But I remember taking them shits out the bag. So I'm thinking the bench I was sitting on, bro, by the food court, I'm thinking I left both of them things just sitting there. I think I left both of them sitting there. But luckily, I had Shining Pearl in my Switch. So I left the empty case for Shining Pearl and then Brilliant Diamond at the airport. Because I called my grandma, I called the house, I was like, hey, do y'all, check in the room I was living in? Are they in there? They're like, no. I'm like, did you check under the freaking table in the living room? They're like, yeah, it's not here. And I'm going to be honest, I really think it might be at my grandma's house. because I was living at my great grandma's house. And I was living at my great grandma's house, and that's where I had the games at. But I also went to my grandma's house too. So I think they might be at my actual grandma's house, my mom's mom. But I was living at my great grandma's house. I just call her grandma. But I think they might be there, or they really might be under the table, and I feel like they ain't really looking hard enough. You know what I'm saying? I don't really feel like they looking hard enough. I feel like them shits is there, bro. I really do. But they swear that they're not there. Like, I have my auntie go look. She says they not there. I'm like, all right, bro. I'm like, they gone then, I guess. But I still want to go and buy them again. Because I was just like, damn, like, I really lost. I mean, technically, I didn't lose $100 worth of games. I lost $50 worth of games and the case. But I still am like, damn, like, that just feels like such a big waste. You know what I'm saying? Because it was like, damn, I didn't even get to play that shit. I didn't get to take it out of the case and put it in my Switch. I don't have no saved data for it or nothing. It was just like, damn. But the good news is I could just go to Walmart and buy another one, you know. But I haven't decided to buy another one yet. When I bought my new Switch, like the actual Switch you can connect to the TV, I ended up buying freaking Ultimate or whatever. But I also like the fact that I can literally play through all these again if I want to. So that gets me like kind of hyped. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, I can play again. I can make new files with my new Switch and then play them over again. And now I get to play them on the big screen. So it just makes it kind of more fun. Honestly, I low-key might play them tonight. The one I really want to play, though, really, that I haven't played yet is the Mystery Dungeon game, right? Okay, so when I was young, I still have a DS. I still have a DS Lite. It has, like, the red top to it, and it's black on the bottom. But when I was young, I used to have a black DS that got stolen from my mom's boyfriend stole it. Like, his, like, the other chick he was dealing with, I guess, her kids stole it or something. And I had Sonic Rush. That was my very first Nintendo DS game. But then I ended up selling my games at my house, at the crib when I was like 13. I want to say I was like 11. I ended up selling all the video games I had. I had like PlayStation games, and I had like Game Boy games and stuff. And I didn't have no money, and my mom wasn't buying me stuff. She was paying bills. So when I was a kid, what I used to do is I used to take the stuff I had and I would sell it to GameStop. Like any games I had, I would sell it to GameStop to get new games. So I remember I used to do that, and then they always had this sale going on where if you like, you know, you give your old Game Boy to them, or you give your old the original DS to them, they make it to where it's like the DS Lite is like half off or something, and you can get it used. So it's basically like you're paying like $50 for a DS. So I ended up doing that, and I ended up getting a white DS, but that one ended up not working. Like I literally went there, sold all my games. That DS didn't work. I had my friend's mom took me back, and I got another DS, and that one was like a Guitar Hero DS. So it was like silver on the top, and it was just normal on the bottom. It was a DS Lite. And on that DS Lite, I had Blue Rescue Team, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, Blue Rescue Team, because they had, at the time, they had Blue Rescue Team, they had Red Rescue Team, and then like 3 or 4 years later, they had, what was it? The Rescue Team Sky one, the one with Shaman on it. And that one had like a Primal Dialga on it and everything. I had the Blue Rescue Team, and I remember I picked Cyndaquil as my starter, bro. And I remember it always annoyed me because you couldn't evolve your Pokemon until you beat like the main story. That was the thing that really annoyed me. But that game was hella fun. So that's why I really want to, I'm really thinking about playing this one later on. And I think I'm going to pick Eevee, I think I'm going to pick Eevee, bro. I'm probably going to pick, or I might pick Cyndaquil again, bro, honestly. But, yeah, it was like on my Blue Rescue Team, I remember I had Cyndaquil as my starter. And I remember it was weird. It was like when I finally got to evolve it, it kind of felt weird. Like when it was a Typhlosion, it didn't feel the same as a Typhlosion as it did as a Cyndaquil. So I don't know, it just like felt weird. But I remember that was like the first Mystery Dungeon Pokemon game I ever played. Did they? I don't think they had Mystery Dungeon on the Game Boy at all. I think it started off on the DS. Yeah, I think it did. Yeah. You know, I played so many Pokemon games, but sometimes you can't remember like certain shit because I'm getting old and shit. But yeah, that was the first Mystery Dungeon Pokemon game I played. I used to play a lot of Pokemon ROM hacks when I was a kid. Like I used to play like this one called Pokemon Ruby Destiny. That was, I don't know, I was like obsessed with Pokemon Ruby Destiny, bro. It was like a ROM hack of Pokemon Ruby, and it had like all the Generation 4 Pokemon on it. And it basically had all the legendaries up to that point. So it had like Dialga, Palkia, Arceus, Celebi, Jirachi, Groudon, Latias, Latio, Zapdos, Moltres, Articuno, Suicune, Raikou, Entei, Ho-Oh, Lugia, Jirachi, Deoxys, what else? Am I missing some legendaries? What legendaries am I missing? Rayquaza, um, I feel like I'm missing some. Mewtwo, Heatran, um, Garatina. What else am I missing? Is that everybody? I think that's everybody. Y'all let me know if that's everybody. So remember, I said Suicune, Raikou, Entei, Ho-Oh, Lugia, Zapdos, Moltres, Articuno, um, Heatran, Jirachi, Dialga, Palkia, Garatina, Arceus, Celebi, Jirachi, um, Mew, I'm trying to think what else. Oh, it had Shadow Lugia on it. So they took, so like I played Yellow Darkness too, but they basically took the Shadow Lugia from Yellow Darkness and they had a new one, and then they used the dude from the Pokemon Lucario and the Mystery of Mew movie. They took like the guy from that and made like a whole story from that. And the guy who created these ROM hacks, his name was Destin Gold, and it was funny because I actually met him, bro, when I was on the airplane when I was like 20. I met that guy, and I was like, bro, like you're the guy who created like the ROM hacks, and he was like, yeah. It was so random because it was like, bro, you literally don't know how much you influenced my childhood. I think that's why it was so crazy. It was like almost meeting my own personal celebrity. I thought that was just wild. I was like, bro, I met the guy who made these ROM hacks. But yeah, the game had like all the legendaries up to that point on there. Oh, Shaman, Darkrai, Cresselia. I can't believe I forgot them. Is that it? Who else? There's more than that, I feel like. That might be everybody. Okay, but yeah, so it had all the legendaries on there. And I remember I used to, oh, Mesprit, Uxie, Azelf. I forgot about them. The little three river aliens. Um, but yeah, it had all of those on there. And I remember I used to, as a kid, I used to always watch these two same videos. And it was just the legendary locations. And it was the locations to where you catch the legendaries at. And I used to constantly freaking watch those same two videos. I was like obsessed with it when I was like 11, 12 years old. I don't know why. But it was a whole series, bro. He had Pokemon Ruby Destiny Rhine of Legends, which was based on Ruby version, and he put all those different Pokemon on it, and the main story had like Shadow Lugia. And then you had like this legendary at the end named Angelian, who was like it looks like a Dratini, a Dragonair. It's like a white Dragonair with like blue ears with no eyes, basically, but it's supposed to be the god of all Pokemon, like over Arceus and everything. And I remember it had the battle cry of Doduo. It was like, because you know they used to just put the Pokemon over like a different Pokemon that wasn't that important. They used to always constantly do that, you know, and that was before people knew how to actually get the correct Pokemon cry for the Pokemon. You know, so it's like Groudon would have like Loudred's battle cry, like stuff like that, and it would in the Pokedex it would be in the place of Loudred, like stuff like that. But I remember I used to always watch those same two videos. And it was funny because this game, I was so obsessed with it, bro. I don't know why. But I remember watching the videos and stuff. And I remember wanting to be able to make my own Pokemon hack, but I never could figure out how to do it because I just wasn't smart enough to do it. Because I was just a little kid and it was just too much extra stuff you had to do to create your own game. Um, but yeah, I remember just being constantly obsessed with that. And I remember um, playing it on my phone as a kid. I remember I had it, okay, so I had the virtual Game Boy on my phone, and I used to play it at school too, on the computer. and because I knew how to download the files and do all that to play the game. So I played Pokemon Ruby Destiny all the time at school. I remember I used to always use the little baby Lugia. I got like so hyped, and the baby Lugia takes like the place of Feebas, and then Lugia is melodic or Milotic, whatever you want to call it. It takes like their spot, so it has the cry of Milotic, and then baby Lugia has the cry of Feebas. And I remember thinking that was so cool for some reason as a kid. I just freaking loved that game as a kid. And I really loved the battle cry of Milotic for Lugia. It just like fits him. Um, but yeah, I remember having it, and then the baby Lugia evolving, and then having Lugia be like level 50. Um, I feel like the story of that was so cool, bro. Like, it was a cool story. It was cool having a baby Lugia that evolves to a grown Lugia. I just thought that was a really cool idea. It was a really cool concept for a ROM hack to me as a kid. Um, it was always funny too because the sprites looked kind of bad, but that was back when I was a little kid. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you couldn't expect the like sprite work to be good. But yeah, I remember playing that like constantly. I used to play a whole bunch of ROM hacks. There was another one, Pokemon Light Platinum. That was the one I played on my phone all the time. And I really liked that one because that one had two Pokemon leagues and two regions. And then it was like after you beat the two regions and you beat the 16 gyms, you fight Ash, and he has Red's party. And I thought that was hella cool. And I remember I had a freaking Garchomp in that game. This Garchomp looked really cool. And if I remember correctly, in that game you got certain HMs. So you had like Lava Surf, like stuff like that, which I thought was kind of cool. It was kind of creative. You could get a Pokemon that can surf over lava. But that game was really fun. ROM hacks when I was a kid were funner than the actual Pokemon games sometimes. I'm not gonna lie. Even though I love the Pokemon games to death, but like some of the ROM hacks were just funner sometimes. But that Pokemon Ruby Destiny, bro, I used to play that like religiously. I don't even think I ever even beat the game though. It's like weird. I don't think I ever beat it. I got to like the 6th gym and just like stopped playing it because I didn't have it was on the computer at my freaking school, so it was like when I switched schools, I didn't have that account no more, so I couldn't play it no more on there. But Pokemon Light Platinum, I used to play that on my phone like constantly. A newer one I played is Pokemon Clover, but I still haven't finished that one. I'm on like the 3rd gym on that one, or like the 4th gym. Um, but yeah, bro, Pokemon Ruby Destiny, bro, was like really big when I was a kid. I really liked it, and it has like 3 games to it. So it had Pokemon Ruby Destiny Line of Legends, which was the first one he made, but then he made like a prequel to it called Pokemon Ruby Destiny Rescue Rangers, and that game was based on the Mystery Dungeon games. It was really similar to Mystery Dungeon games, except it still had like, it was still a Ruby hack. So you still, like, you know how in like the Mystery Dungeon games, it shows the overworld and it shows the Pokemon fighting each other on the overworld. It didn't show that. It actually still showed like the battle screen and you send out the Pokemon or whatever. I remember playing that one too. I remember in that one I actually cheated to get Pokeballs because in that game it only lets you have like the same 5 Pokemon, and I was like, nah, I was like, I want more Pokemon. But you couldn't get into the PC. So even if you caught like some of the Pokemon, you couldn't get into the PC until like the end of the game, which I thought was hella stupid. So that like always irritated me about that game. Because he was trying to make it so similar to Mystery Dungeon. But I played that one a lot as a kid too. And then that one had a lot of fake Pokemon on it too. It had like Breathrina, which was like a dragon that looked like a duck. And I remember it had Glaceon's battle cry. And then there was one he had called Devil Hell or Divide Hell or whatever it was called. And it had Spiritom's battle cry. And then I remember Angelian had Cresselia's battle cry. And I remember after you beat the game, you fight all the dragons. Like Giratina is like the main villain, and it's controlling all the dragons. So you fight Giratina, Rayquaza, Breathrina, Angelian, Devil Hell, and then you fight what is it? There's another one, Chalmega, and Chalmega had Zapdos' battle cry, and it looks like a green Charizard. So it's like you fight all these dragons, all these like fake dragons. But the music for the game was kind of fun. He used to take music from like different games and put it in the game. So he would like hack in like the Zelda music, like you'd hear the little like you would hear like that and stuff in the game, which I thought was actually kind of cool. Like it let you know he was like really into Zelda. Um, but I remember playing that game too, but I only got like halfway through it. I don't think I ever got all the way to the end. Because I played that on the computer, I think too. Yeah, I played that one on the computer too, so I never got to finish it. And then, because I was like playing them like simultaneously, if I remember. And then I remember that he had a third one called Pokemon Ruby Destiny. I think it was called Life of Guardians, where the main characters have blue hair. That one has gems, but it also has like this weird kind of story. I can't even really explain the story. It like it's like a like it's cool when you're playing it, but then when you try to think about it later on, it doesn't really make sense. Like it's pretty clear that he was just kind of making up junk and just making his own story. Because I can't explain the story to you. It's like, okay, so it's like at the beginning of the game. I'm gonna try to explain it as best as possible. At the beginning of the game, you have blue hair, and you're the main character. Both of the main characters have blue hair. You got the girl character with blue hair, the guy character with blue hair, and you're kind of like a. I don't want to say you're like a Pokemon Ranger, but it's like you kind of are a little bit, but not really. But you still verse the gyms. But after you beat the gyms, it's like there's like these little side quests that you do. It was like it was almost like he was trying to make it kind of like a Zelda game. And it's like you fight Ruby Destiny, which is like this like I guess this evil spirit, and the evil spirit is like based on the game, I guess. And then you fight Devil Hell again, but this Devil Hell looks different than the original one. The original one looks like a little kid drew it, and it looks like a little worm with like little devil wings. But the new Devil Hell looks kind of like a ghost, kind of, but it still kind of looks like a worm. And it has like the battle cry, I think, of Rhyperior. Yeah, I think it has like Rhyperior's battle cry. And you still fight like Breath Arena and like some of the dragons like Chalmega in them in the game. And the Pokemon can talk in the game. And if I remember correctly, you have to beat the gyms first and then you fight them. But I never got that far because the game, when I played it, it was like you get stuck on one part of the game and there's no way to get past like a certain part of the game. You get what I'm saying? So it was like I remember I beat like the first gym and then there's like this train you got to get on. I remember getting on the train and then trying to go to the next city and the game like wouldn't let me. I don't know if it was like a early beta of the game or something. I don't know, but it would not let me go to like the next city. But I thought it was cool because it at least had like the little Zelda music playing, so that was kind of cool. But I remember never being able to beat that one because it wouldn't let you go to the next city. I think you needed like walk through walls to be able to cheat to go to the next city because it just wouldn't let you for some reason. But yeah, that's how far I remember getting in that one. I didn't really get far in that one like at all. But I always wanted to like finish the game, but it was like I don't know. It's like needing to use cheats and all that extra stuff got kind of boring, I guess, for me. I kind of like when the game is just straightforward. You could just go through it. But I remember in that game, I couldn't get past that like one part of the game. So I never really finished none of those. I didn't finish those three games. I finished Pokemon Light Platinum though. I finished that one, but those three I didn't finish. And Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, the real Mystery Dungeon, Blue Rescue Team, I finished that one. All the real Pokemon games I finished. But some of the hacks, even though some of them were really fun, some of them I didn't finish. And some of them were kind of boring. Like some of them I would play and I'd just be like, this is kind of boring. But yeah, the best one I want to say is, for story-wise, is Pokemon Ruby Destiny because I just love seeing Shadow Lugia and all that. But I would say that Pokemon Light Platinum was like the easiest to play through without any issues. And I played that one, I want to say, when I was like 16. So I was like 2-3 years older when I played that one. And that one was a full game. Like that one I beat, I want to say, in a couple of days. Played it on my phone. It was super fun. And I can't remember my whole party. I can only remember having Garchomp in that game. But I do remember beating Ash in the game. Even though he has level 100. He has level 100s and I had like level 60s. But I'm pretty sure the creators purposely made Ash easy to beat. Because I beat both champions. And in that game, when you get to the second region, you actually get the Pokemon Black and White starters. The ones from Unova, which I thought was pretty cool. Even though I don't even think I used none of them. But it was cool that you get like free starters or whatever. But yeah, I ended up beating both champions. And in it, I think it's the same, like, You can tell when it comes to the champions, he didn't really put that much effort into the champions, like the creator of that game of Pokemon White Platinum. But it was like the game itself was fun. But the champions were hella similar. They had like the same Pokemon low key. But after you beat both of them, Ash. He has Red's party. You know, he has the Pikachu, the Espeon, Blastoise, Venusaur, Charizard, Snorlax. Y'all already know the deal. The Pikachu. Um, but they were hella weak. It was like they were level 100, but they had like weak moves. Like it was like I remember I think Blastoise had like water gun and stuff. It's, like I said, I think the devs purposely made the game like super easy to beat just for enjoyment. Like they wanted you to just have fun. They didn't want the game to be like overly hard. But it was a fun game though. Like I had fun playing that one. I remember just sitting there playing that on my old phone like all the time, bro. That was when I was using my neighbor's Wi-Fi, bro. I didn't even have Wi-Fi, but I don't even was that phone even on? Could I call? Yeah, it was on because I remember calling my mom. Yeah, it was on. Yeah, I remember having hella fun playing that game though. What should I call this video, you guys? I'm thinking about what this video is gonna be called, like Pokemon ROM hacks. Me talking about Pokemon ROM hacks and I lost my Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. It might just be named that. That's a little simple. Um, there was another thing I want to talk about too. So I was thinking about like the next games that I'm gonna buy on my Switch. I really want to buy a Zelda game. I really want to get deep into Zelda. The only Zelda game I ever had was Zelda: A Link in the Past, and then I had Zelda in all the Smash Bros. Games. You know, Brawl and Melee. Um, and Ultimate, but I've never actually had a Zelda game except for A Link in the Past for Game Boy. And I remember I traded that to an Asian kid. I'm gonna tell that story later on. I want to tell that story in another video though. I don't want to tell that story in this video. But I hope you guys enjoyed my little random thoughts. You know, this is one of my first videos for the After Dark channel. If you are new here, I have multiple channels. But this is my second channel, which is strictly mostly for my random thoughts. It's kind of like a diary where I'm just talking about random stuff. And it's mostly going to be about like anime, video games, you know, video games I've had when I was a kid, anime that I had, that I watched, you know what I'm saying, mangas that I've read, my favorite video games, nostalgia. I'll be talking about Pokemon a lot. Cartoons I watched as a child, just stuff like that, and just random thoughts that I have in my head at the time. So it's kind of like I said, it's kind of like a diary, bro. It's kind of like me just kind of sharing just random personal stuff with you guys. So I hope you guys enjoy that. That's what this channel is for. But I do have another channel called Loki Sule, which is a dating channel for the brothers. And like I said before, I'm also going to make a dating channel for the sisters. It'll be Loki Sule Dating for Women, and then I'm going to make an 18+ channel. And that'll be for like erotic stories and freaky stuff, because you know, your boy freak. Anyway, you know, so I have that's coming up, bro. So far I only got these 2 channels, but those ones is gonna be coming soon. And then what else? I have another channel that'll be just all lives. I have another channel that's gonna be story times possibly, and then I'm gonna have a full-on writing channel where it's just me telling you guys about the novels that I'm writing, and then it'll also be about the novels I'm writing, and then like tips on writing, like tips that I think will help everybody, and things that I've used and that I've worked on, because I really like talking about writing. It's just one of those things. It's just like fun to talk about because I get so many ideas in my head, and that's why I decided I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna make like 5 or 6 channels, because I could, for one, I can get a whole bunch of fans. I could put like 14 videos on here, 14 videos on the other channel, and I could just keep simultaneously kind of cycling through the channels, and I could just put up a bunch of videos, because YouTube does this thing where it's like you have to get like a verification code if you want to do hella videos on one channel. And I thought to myself, I'm like, you can just make like 5 channels, bro, and just share stuff on all these separate channels instead of trying to do one. And I mean, I know you're allowed to do it because literally a lot of YouTubers do it. Like, I never even paid attention to it, but most YouTubers have like 3 channels. They have like a gaming channel, their main channel. Sometimes they have an exercising channel, you know, things of that nature. So I was like, I want a gaming channel. I want an After Dark channel where it's just me talking about random stuff, like random childhood stuff, anime, comics, cartoons, you know, nostalgia with video games I played and stuff like that. The next video is probably gonna be a story time where I'm telling you guys about how I don't even want to say it. I want y'all to wait and hear it, bro. But I hope you guys enjoyed this little story of me just rambling about how I lost my damn Switch games at the freaking airport or at my grandma's house, and just these little stories about Pokemon games that I play, Pokemon ROMs. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. This is the first video for this channel, so I hope it's it's something that you enjoy listening to, while you just chilling at work or something, or you just bored at night and you're like, damn, you want somebody to talk to. You can just kind of listen to my little stories or whatever. But like, comment, subscribe, tell me what you want to hear about. You know what I'm saying? I'll do a video on it. If I get bored or whatever. But again, this is just this is kind of just my little diary channel. I just want to put random shit on here. So yeah. But if you need help with dating, go to my main channel, Loki Sule. I talk about dating stuff. Oh yeah, I'm also making a stand-up comedy channel, just a funny channel, a goofy channel where I'll just be doing funny shit. So y'all go check that one out too. All right, hope you guys have a good night. Peace, love, take care, blessings.